Okay, we're back on the Ubuntu 2404 laptop. It's been on it quite a while. I haven't used this machine for a couple of weeks now, a couple or 3 weeks during the move and so forth. I haven't been taking it down the boozer. But the upshot is, this has been on since April the 27th. And it is now September the 4th, so this is well over 4 months down the line. I have been using it fairly often, out and about with me on the laptop. As you see, it's this is the Pavilion, HP Pavilion laptop with the Bang & Olufsen audio and the Intel Pentium Gold CPU. What have I got to say about it? Well, initially I was skeptical about using Ubuntu because of all the snaps. I've managed to keep them to the bare minimum, installing most of my preferred packages by way of debs. I've wrestled with the snap updating, or particularly the snap store or the snap updater or whatever, because it couldn't update itself while it's running. Basically that's circular insanity, if ever I've heard of it. But there's ways around that. As you've seen, I use the terminal now with snap refresh, and then I update everything else in the command line. So what can I say about it? Yeah, the initial setup was a little painful, having to keep some snaps. I don't like snaps. But once that's over, you don't even notice that you're running the snaps. They have improved to that extent, and if you keep them to the bare minimum, the likelihood of you using an uncurated or an unverified or an unchecked snap from the snap store is kept to the bare minimum. Get most of your stuff from the repos if you can. I would insist that now. And there really isn't an awful lot of justification for using snaps, other than you have to for certain things, without jumping through hoops on the system. So I'm going to do a quick snap refresh now. Okay, good. There we go. So yeah, this is you can see basically what my machine is now. So here we go, sudo snap refresh. I would imagine this will bring in a different version of Firefox, or it will try to, but I'd better shut this one down first. All snaps up to date. I must have updated it previously. Let's try that again. There we go. Now it's looking for Firefox. See, you noticed it said everything was up to date because I was still running one of the snaps that it needed to update. It's not the best update speed. So after over 4 months of using Ubuntu in its, as you can see, in its vanilla form, what have I got to say about it? Well, much the same as any other Linux distro. I would say to you, once you've got it installed, once you've got the software you need on it, don't faff about with it. Let it be, let it bed in, let it stay in its vanilla form. There's a saying amongst Debian users, don't break Debian. Now the biggest mistake that anyone can make when they come to Linux at all is to get carried away by ricing it. or customizing it, or adding flashy effects that don't belong, bringing in desktop themes, icon packs, things like that. A lot of those that you find are perhaps a little bit incomplete and will give you a broken system, or at least an ugly one. So the thing I would say to you is, if you find a Linux distribution that you like the look of, that's got the software you want, get it installed and use it like you would use Windows. Don't faff about with it, because that's the surest way of breaking it. This I have kept exactly the same as it was the day I installed it, and it has been fine. And it has been on for well over 4 months now, with no problems, snaps and all. So look at this, good old Ubuntu. I'm in the middle of updating and it's telling me there's updates. Clever old Ubuntu, eh? Yes, so quite honestly, there's nothing really else to add. This has been working absolutely fine for me. Why haven't you seen it out and about with me? You haven't seen it out and about with me recently, even during the move, when I was doing stuff from the pub. More recently, I've been using 10-year-old MacBooks instead. Now, why would I use a 10-year-old out-of-date MacBook over a couple of year old fairly modern HP Pavilion laptop out and about? Well, I'll tell you why. Because this 10-year-old MacBook has got 3 times the battery life out and about than this much newer Hewlett Packard. It's a lot tougher, it's got an aluminium chassis, it just makes the best sense, and with a decent web browser on it, it's just as safe. When I say decent, I mean not Safari. So yeah, I'm finding them absolutely brilliant, and they just make more sense. I'm just using what works for me in each given situation. At home, Linux all the way. Out and about, in little MacBooks. I like them. It's like using Linux. And at least it's not Windows. So, right, I'm not going to make you sit through all of these updates. I'm going to end the video here and say thank you for watching, and don't faff about with your Linux. If you like how it looks, keep how it looks. Just my bit of advice. Don't break it.